But so what do you think's going to happen in New York? Because it seems like they've recognized the fact that they have a shit show and they're making attempts to do it, but the lawlessness of this program in the state just allows for it to continue. So they continue to shut down illegal dispensaries, they continue to pop up. And now I'm assuming there's, a plethora of retail places. I'm positive of hemp products. There's probably every corner store. So what do you see as New York's fate in this whole thing?
I compare it to California, right? I think California is still struggling. I think I read an article yesterday that the illicit market is, I think it said, I could be wrong, triple, if not double, the size of the legal market, right? Shit. So they still have, it's almost like the problem still exists, right? From that standpoint. The taxation has, they've never been able to stabilize. And I think New York is looking at a similar future. There was an article that came out yesterday, I think it was in the New York Times, that Hochul, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but they had proposed a $200 million fund to grant to social equity applicants. And the state of New York put in $50 million, right? And they were supposed to receive the money back from licensing fees, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm being very general, obviously, but
sure.
Hochul is now trying to get the funds back, right? And there's a ton of issues with the fund. It's predatory. It's requiring people to take on a ton of debt at a high interest. It's like, why would you do it? Why would you do it? But the illicit shops are still there. The bodegas are still selling. I don't know how you change the situation unless you invite them into the room, right? And I think I've talked about this a number of times with people. A possible route is, okay, you give everyone a license, like a liquor license, and you tax everyone. And, I don't know if this is an accurate statement, but it's just an idea. Like, okay, if you want to prioritize social equity, drop their tax rates, give them free taxes for a number of years. Free taxes is excessive, but maybe lower them significantly, figure out creative ways to give them a leg up while you still have an opportunity to drive revenue from other places that are already selling it. And you're the ones who opened the door in the first place, right?
That's right.
So
that's right.
How do you solve this problem? But I don't know if you have, I don't know. I don't see how they make the decisions to put people in a better position. It's just going to be a very long road ahead.
And once you let something go so far, it's really hard to reel it back in. And it's gone so far in the other direction, like in the wrong direction. So reeling something like that in versus an organized, planned rollout that makes sense, that you had a plan for, you thought about ahead of time. It's tough. I don't know how you reel that in.
Yeah. Machine is rolling.
I don't roll. It's unfortunate. I sometimes feel like people don't think about things through enough, right? They're so focused on getting the bill passed. But then what?
Yeah.
And I understand. And look, politics, I'm oversimplifying something incredibly complex, but it was just astounding to me, the lack of plan that was in place once the bill passed and the promises that were made from the state that people unfortunately got burned by. I think, I don't know if you saw, but during the initial rollout, you had farmers at city hall meetings or, commission meetings where they're suicidal, they're losing everything. You have people saying they put their kids' college funds into their dispensary license and they're losing everything that they have. And it's like, you know,
rough.
people that have worked in other markets could have been like, I could have told you this would have, like, why are you doing, like, you know, it's just.
Well, I think like one of the things that you said is that, you know, you love New York, and you had a kind of the goal from when you left is to get back, right? You almost from day, like you seemed to in our conversation from day one, you wanted to go back. So, you know, you've got a vested interest in wanting to participate in that particular state's program. And so for that reason, you know, when we spoke, I have some mixed thoughts on hemp, just probably like you did in the beginning. And I'm, you know, at Cough Country and Cough Country TV, we're everything about cannabis and hemp. So there's nothing about hemp that we're not about. But me personally, you know, obviously I'm much more interested, and I think for me, cannabis is better for me. But that's not to diminish. I think
Different for everyone. You know,
Right.
I'll smoke the cannabis and I'll wear the hemp. How about that?
You're lucky my soundboard's not working, because there's a stupid button that I would just press for that.
No, no, you drink the hemp. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Get it right, man. Drink the hemp. But I think Devin, I think what it does do is the hemp thing has opened the door to a lot of people that wouldn't have had an opportunity to try this or become aware of it. So I think from a public relations perspective, it's really good. So I think now that I've heard the whole story, I like what you've done. You've made specifically with the fact that there's your presence in New York, and I think that's the way to move forward. You've made a much better decision than to fight a battle that I don't necessarily think anyone can win, to be honest with you.
And, you know, I think there is